What is up, everybody? Thank you so much for clicking on my video. My name is Wes. This is Topshelfers, and we just got done beating Bendy and the Ink Machine, and it is time to do the review. So, if this is your first time watching one of my reviews, right after I get done beating the game, and they are streamed if you want to come check them out live, I do a quick rating on 11 categories that I think are important to me: graphics and visuals, gameplay mechanics, story and narrative, audio and sound design, replay value, difficulty and balance, world design and exploration, performance and technical stability, community and multiplayer, innovation and originality, and then hours versus dollars. And these are all rated out of 10. There probably will be spoilers, so just be warned if you don't want to have anything spoiled for Bendy and the Ink Machine. Best not watch the review first. So, without further ado, we're going to jump into this. So, graphics and visuals. The quality of the game's graphics, including art style, realism, animation quality, and overall visual appeal. I mean, guys, Bendy and the Ink Machine is an absolutely beautiful looking game. It's in that old cartoon style from like the early Mickey Mouse Disney era, the black and white, but it's kind of like a brown off white, and it looks great through the whole game. The liquid from the ink looks amazing, the monsters, the animation style. This is where this game absolutely shines. The visuals are really what hold this game in a very high level. Gameplay and mechanics, how smooth and intuitive the controls are, the complexity and depth of gameplay systems, and the overall enjoyment of playing the game. Um, I think that as far as movement goes, I mean, it moves fine. The controls are pretty basic. There's nothing really going on too crazy there. Mechanically and like gameplay mechanics and things to do in the game, I do feel like especially going in chapter 5 specifically, I just was kind of bored with what the game's giving me to do. The puzzles aren't really that difficult. It's a lot of just kind of walking around until you find where you need to go. And I the combat is just smack. I mean, that's fine. We're not playing horror games for combat all the time, but I just felt, I don't want to say bored, just very underwhelmed. It was a lot of, okay, go into this area and walk around until you find these things to get this thing to work. And it started off really strong. I liked the music room and all the stuff around that, and like you had to listen to the tapes, but as time went on, I was just kind of like, am I really having fun playing the game, or do I just want to see how cool the visuals will get and what's going on with the story? So I feel like gameplay mechanics, it's pretty weak. We're gonna go with 6.5. Story and narrative. I mean, I loved the mystery and the not knowing what's coming next. I very much thought that it was a very original and cool story, something different. The ink is poisonous, and why is it so important to the story, and why is there barrels of it everywhere, and then everything's made of ink, and these monsters are ink monsters, and there's a very cool idea. The story has a lot of plot holes in it, but I think it's one of those ones where you really need to go back through the game a couple times, and then I'm sure there's other games or things that you can read to just enrich the story more and more. I think that it was fun. I like the story and narrative. We're gonna give it an 8. Audio and sound design, it didn't flop anywhere. The audio was great, the sound design was great, the voice actors were great. Um, yeah, I think that it did everything well in this area. Replay value, the extent in which the game encourages replayability through multiple endings, side quests, new game plus, multiple modes, or other factors. I have no idea if there's multiple endings to this game. They're quite possibly, let me see. Multiple endings to Bendy and the Ink Machine. So how many endings are there? As far as I know, there's only one ending. There's a secret filter that makes the game black and white. Needs to be. There are no hidden secret endings. There are hidden bosses in multiple chapters, though. Okay, so there's one ending. When I looked at the achievements, here I can actually pop this up here. I did notice that I only got 50% of the achievements unlocked, and like there's stuff that I don't even get. The poor doggy a bone, visit the meatly, brought down the projectionist, get a perfect score. I mean, some of this stuff I know what it is, but like go for a wild ride, find all the hidden radios in the game, collect the bacon soups. So take a longer walk. So I mean, there's definitely more to the game. Would I want to go back and play it? No, I don't think so. There's no incentive for it to be more difficult. There's no side things aside from probably little maybe enhancers to the story. No multiple endings, no different modes or anything like that. I have no interest in playing this game again. That's not always a bad thing, but for the rating, there's just nothing there for me to do. Difficulty and balance, how well the game is balanced in terms of challenge, difficulty, progression, and fairness, catering to both casual and hardcore players. I feel like this is an area where it was really lacking, just in the sense of like I never felt anything was difficult. I kind of felt like it was bullshit. And again, this game's great. I don't want this review sounds kind of harsh, but look at the scores. I mean, it's gonna get a good score at the end. I I didn't like Bendy, the final boss. I thought it was really underwhelming as well as just what are we doing? It's just randomly running through the walls and hitting me, and I have to just walk through the little ink hole to be revived to not even know that I hit all the levers. And then the final thing was out of like the most basic combat concept, which is just run the big guy into the pillars. And it's been done millions of times. Nothing was difficult in the game, and the things that were quote unquote difficult were just like I can't find the thing. I do think that that's a really low point in the game for me personally, but maybe for some people it'd be different. World design exploration, the richness and detail of the game world, the diversity of environments, and the sense of discovery and exploration offered to the player. There wasn't a lot of sense of discovery. I didn't really feel like. I mean, you're kind of on rails in the sense of like you need to go to XYZ to accomplish the game. It's not an open world by any stretch of the imagination, but I commented on this multiple times about the detail of the game world. There is so much little details in this game, and I just feel like I wanted to look at everything that I could because it was so well made. And I know that that kind of goes with graphics and visuals, world design, exploration are different. I still feel like that helped me want to look at more in this game. So we're going to give it a 7.5. Performance and technical stability, how well the game runs technically, including factors such as frame rate, loading times, optimization across different platforms, and the absence of bugs and glitches. We did get one glitch, probably my fault. I tried to jump and avoid some guys, and I got stuck, and I had to reset. Aside from that, which I'm blaming myself for, not the game, um, the game ran phenomenal. There's zero issues. I didn't ever feel like there was anything goofy. Some of the AI when they're chasing you, man, we could argue there, but overall, it runs great. Community and multiplayer. There's no multiplayer, so I won't do a score for this. The community, though, there was a lot of people who came in and watched the stream who I've never met before, and they're all very, very nice and very passionate about their game, and I love to see that. Innovation and originality, the extent to which the game introduces fresh ideas, innovative gameplay mechanics, or unique twists on existing genres, contributing to its overall creativity and distinctiveness. The art style. I've said this multiple times. The art style carried this game heavily. It's beautiful, it's original, it's different, right? I don't know what came out first, Bendy and the Ink Machine or Cuphead. We kind of had that old cartoon vibe for a little bit in the 2015s. I wish there was more games that did it. I really do. As far as gameplay mechanics and the innovation of it, there were none. I'm sorry. It didn't really happen. There were some unique twists, but just mostly story narrative. Um, but I still feel the graphics are so good that it innovated its own way. We're gonna give it an 8. And then I do have to, and I will do this off stream or off screen. I don't know how much good old Bendy and the Ink Machine is nowadays. Okay, $20. $20. We beat the game in just under 5 hours. So I mean, that's not bad. And also considering if you were to get back into the game, go and find a bunch of different things, find all the side stuff, I feel like it's pretty decently priced. And for just the beautiful art of it, like I've paid more to go to art exhibits. Like, to be honest with you, you're kind of paying to see how awesome this game looks. And it has a cool story on top of it. So we're going to give it an 8.5. So let's do some handy dandy calculations here with my calculator on the screen. 9.5, 6.5, 8, 8.5, 6, 5, 7.5, 9, 8, 8.5 divided by 10. That leaves Bendy and the Ink Machine coming in at a 7.65 out of 10. I think that's pretty fair for that game. When I'm looking back at it, maybe we could bump up gameplay mechanics a little bit. Maybe I'm being a little harsh on difficulty and balance. I just don't think there was any difficulty in the game that wasn't actually like me like actually finding something challenging, more just versus unfair. So you're talking if we bump up gameplay mechanics and maybe replay value, you're at an 8 plus. But I do think this is fair for what we're rating on. Let me know what you think, if you agree or disagree. And I want to make it very clear because I know the fans for this game are passionate. If you made it this far, I loved the game. I do. I've seen the merch. I will probably buy Bendy and the Ink Machine stuff. I'm all for a third game. I'm all for the movie. There's just some stuff from a gameplay point of view that we're lacking, and that's okay. That doesn't make it a bad game, right? I just want you guys to understand that it's still a great game. There's just some areas that for rating video games in a grand scheme of things that it was short on. So, thank you so much. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Catch you on the next one. Peace.